I want to talk to you about Filenow versus hardware compliance versus BizFilings. Of course, we are speaking about LLC formation services, and by extension, we are speaking about company formation. So here's a review I want you to pay attention to. I want to first start with Filenow. So when you think about Filenow, I want you to think about a platform that allows you to do all kinds of things, including filing your LLC. And what we love about Filenow is the fact that they have actually invested a lot in terms of UI. So you can actually get started and finish everything as soon as possible. And there are many steps to forming a new business through Filenow. And the easiest we have found is that you can actually do everything within 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. You send them the paperwork and they'll just file the LLC or the S corporation or C corporation on your behalf. Okay. With Filenow, you have a money back guarantee, 24-hour processing, free shipping, online order tracking, and 24/7 customer support. So in terms of a service having your back, this is really cool. And now there is no free plan though. You have a no annual reporting, no legal services. So that's something to really keep in mind. But long story short, the cool thing is that you have basic business formation services and document filing through Filenow. And so we are speaking about basically you basically will send everything to them. You will upload all your documents to them. They'll ask you about the business name. They will check your business name to make sure it is available. And they will then, if everything passes muster, they will file the application with the Secretary of State. And so what really sets and what happens here is that once you are approved from the state authorities, Filenow will send all the documents to you. That's totally fine. And so what we love about Filenow is that it's one of the few incorporation services that offer 24-hour processing, which is really included in both plans. So the moment you place your order, an expert will make the review and the application will be sent to the state authorities within 24 hours. So Filenow is really guaranteeing that your application will be actually sent within 24 hours. And Filenow is really great in terms of affordability and transparency also. So the pricing tiers are pretty clear, are pretty transparent. So you know what you're getting yourself into before doing anything. So that's just fantastic. Boss, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here. Make yourself comfortable. You are going to enjoy today's conversation. I want to talk to you now about the Filenow services. So when you think about Filenow, you have a constellation of services. You have no hidden fees. So, live 24/7 customer support, money back guarantee, unlimited name search. Now, Filenow will ask you for the name in which you would like to call your business. From there, they will run a search with the Secretary of State to make sure the name is still available. If the name is not available, a Filenow representative will actually reach you by phone and or email for that matter, and they will actually propose to you another name. They will ask you another name. You have online document access, so that's kind of cool in terms of a LLC formation service. So Filenow provides access to download any related documents from the account dashboard. You have articles of organization. You have online order status tracking. You have 24-hour processing in terms of your LLC formation, and you have express shipping and electronic delivery. So bottom line here is what? You basically have the chance to get things done a lot faster. In terms of pricing, you have two plans with Filenow. You have what they call the starter plan, and then they have the premium plan. And the starter plan is actually pretty straightforward and pretty basic too. So you pay for expert guidance as well as order tracking, electronic alerts of company compliant deadlines, a complimentary consultation with a tax specialist, and small business banking with Bank of America. So Filenow has a partnership with Bank of America to actually allow you to have a small business bank account. And so when we talk about the $49 plus state filing fees, that's actually the basic, the starter plan, if you will. You have unlimited name search, articles of our organization, company alerts, business tax consultation, 24-hour processing. The premium plan is actually packed with perks. It includes everything in the starter plan and then some. So you have, for instance, first year registered agent, which is really free. You have EIN 10. You have operating agreements, banking resolution, business contract templates, and 24-hour processing. So that's kind of cool in terms of flexibility. And Filenow not only specializes in business formation, but it does have a few additional services worth noting. For instance, you have the registered agent that I just told you. You have certificate of good standing. You have DBA, so DBA, doing business as. You have a reservation of name, so Filenow will take care of that for you. You have a federal 10 EIN business license report, so that's kind of cool. But all those things that I just told you, those are add-ons, so you have to pay extra to actually access them. And you also have the ability to get things done through the platform. Like, you don't have to call Filenow to initiate the process. You can do everything online, not a problem. Boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about Filenow versus Hardbar Compliance versus BizFilings. Of course, we are speaking about LLC formation services, or by extension, company formation services. Now I want to talk to you about hardbar compliance. So when you think about hardbar compliance, I want you to think about an LLC formation service that allows you to actually not only in terms of business formation, no problem, you're covered, but they actually help you with what we call the corporate life cycle management, and so they actually give you everything from A to Z. So you have business formation, you have licensing, you have registered agent services, and so on and so forth. Additionally, it offers a self-managed, fully managed, and hybrid business formation and management options, which really is great because it gives all kinds of businesses the flexibility to choose the option that best suits their needs. And so when you think about hardbar compliance, think in that sense that you want efficiency, and you've got efficiency. For example, you basically have a compliance calendar. You have industry-specific licensing services. You have nationwide registered agent service. So that's kind of cool. When we talk about compliance calendar, you are talking about a calendar that is updated based on the most current regulations. So you are able to stay on top of your compliance obligations and avoid any penalties or fees. When we talk about industry-specific licensing, this is another great hardbar compliance feature because they provide specialized licensing services for a wide constellation of regulated industries, including architecture, construction, energy, engineering, insurance, and more. So they have a team of specialists that navigates the complex licensing requirements of those industries, which can be really invaluable for businesses operating in those sectors. The agents, the registered agent service is kind of cool also if you're interested in that kind of service. So basically, we are talking about what? We're talking about having a service that offers a same-day electronic delivery of documents and complimentary annual report notifications. And so they can also expedite filings and document retrievals. And so this level of service and support can be valuable for businesses with multiple locations or operations in different states. So when you think about hardbar compliance, they do have a variety of services. You have name availability search, incorporation service, registered agent service, articles of organization. So when it comes to getting started with hardbar compliance, you are really well served here because the process is very straightforward and easy. I mean, they're not really making things complicated for you. What happens here is that everything starts with a name. So you got to really put your first name, last name, your company's name, but also, but once you put your company's name, they will check your company name to make sure the name is available. Okay. So they will actually conduct a cursory search of entity names in your state and let you know if it's available. And so after purchasing, hardbar compliance will conduct a more thorough research about your name and all the ancillary information in the name database. So that's kind of important. And from there, everything is more straightforward. I mean, nothing really complicated. They'll take your info and they'll ask you if you want to add more services to your package, right? Things like EIN, things like a business bank account, things like a registered agent services, things like annual certification. So you have to really see what really works for you. But the bottom line here is that you have to specify things during the process so they know exactly what you want and what you don't want. So we think the hardbar compliance LLC formation service is ideal for businesses looking for a straightforward. So if you want a straightforward and simple process for registering your business, you will love Harbor Compliance because its ongoing compliance services such as business license management, tax management, and entity management are kind of valuable for businesses seeking a comprehensive solution for their compliance needs. Additionally, its variety of compliance services for regulated industries such as financial services can be beneficial for businesses in those specific niches or economic sectors. Okay, so that's something to really think about if you were to go with Harbor Compliance. And bottom line here is that the you got to really ask yourself whether or not the pricing is really an impediment for you, because their services are priced depending on the type of service and the state in which you are located. So, for example, its LLC formation service starts at $99 plus state fees. So, something to be clear about. But the cool thing in our view here is that they really provide specialized licensing for a range of regulated industries, such as architecture, codes marketing, construction, employment, energy, engineering, financial services, insurance, land surveying, charitable solicitation, security, and transportation. So that's kind of cool. Boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about Filenow versus Harbor Compliance versus BizFilings. This is about LLC formation service. I want to talk to you now about BizFilings. So when you think about BizFilings, what should you think about? First of all, I want you to think about a subsidiary of Wolters Kluwer. I mean, they were actually a separate entity a couple of years ago, but they got bought over by this gigantic tax, I would say software maker, if you will. I mean, so Wolters Kluwer is really good. But when you think about BizFilings, its subsidiary, you have the ability to rely on somebody on an institution that has been in business for decades. Okay, and so this is basically, in our view, a very reliable LLC formation and incorporation service provider. They offer straightforward online LLC formations. They also bundle 6 months of their registered agent service with every formation. So if this is something you want, this is kind of cool. And BizFilings is actually a pretty great company because they were started like in 1996. So they've been in business for nearly 30 years now. And you are able to get a lot of stuff done through this service. For example, you have an LLC formation and incorporation service, which really includes a business name verification in all 50 states. You have a registered agent service. You have a various tax registration services for both federal and state agencies. Okay, so you are able, for instance, to obtain your EIN, your tax ID number through the IRS, or they'll take care of that process for you. You have customizable templates for commonly used documents such as operating agreements. What we love about BizFilings is that they basically offer you, if you will, an all-in-one service, right? So you have the ability to actually go through the service, and through this service, and they'll take care of everything for you from A to Z. So in terms of an all-in-one service, or let's say comprehensiveness of services, BizFilings is way more advanced than Harbor Compliance or Filenow. That's for sure. Okay, but the pricing is something that really could be an impediment for small businesses. BizFilings is very strategic in not disclosing its pricing on the website, but we did our little research, and we found out that they basically have their basic services for $99. Their standard is at $229. The complete is at $359, and the international is at $399. So international is really good because you have all kinds. You covered in all states, and even internationally, as the name implies. So that's kind of cool. Now, the thing is that with BizFilings, you have additional costs and upsells. So the prices that I just gave you here are just exclusive of other actions or initiatives. For instance, if you want sales tax registration, that will cost you $200. Okay. And so basically you are able to obtain a state tax ID number through BizFilings. For a payroll tax registration, this will cost you also $199. I mean, $200. So BizFilings will actually help you register with state authorities for payroll related obligations. And they also asking you, they're charging you also for a business license application package, and this will actually set you back $99. So if you actually buy this add-on, BizFilings will research and compile a list of the business licenses your specific business might require. Now, of course, the process I'm giving you, those are one-time fees. Those are not actually monthly fees, actually. You also have a ADP payroll service. Now, for this, pricing is actually available upon request, and because it depends on the size of your workforce, really. Okay, so it's one of those things where you got to ask yourself whether or not BizFilings is for you. Well, we love the fact that they are able to get things done from A to Z. So that's why we recommend BizFilings for experienced business owners who do not need an operating agreement and can serve as their LLC's registered agent. If you want to go that way, that's totally fine. One thing I want to say is that BizFiling is really, really flexible in terms of their pricing, because you are able to cancel incorporation orders if they have not been processed. You want to contact BizFiling's customer service departments in order to cancel your order. You can call them at 1-800-981-7183. Again, the number here is 1-800-981-7183. And this is kind of cool. But long story short, you have a very strong player when it comes to LLC formation, right? You have warranty against the filing errors. You have additional help with compliance. You have decades long track record. So that's really cool. The only thing we don't like is that BizFiling is a little bit expensive. There are no online reviews from customers, and you also have auto enrollment and paid registered agent service. So that's really, really cool. Fantastic. So let me give you the basically the our overview here. When we talk about Filenow versus Harbor Compliance versus BizFilings, which one should you go for? I mean, basically, a BizFiling is a strong player. Filenow is also is, and Harbor Compliance is also is. It's also a strong player. Now, it's important to, before making a determination, to know how to choose an LLC formation service. You have to look at your needs. What are you going after? What's important for you? Okay, you want to think about the paperwork filing process. You want to think about the speed. You want to think about the price. You want to think about the constellation of add-ons that they are going to add on. Because the whole thing is that there are services that will give you a complete package. And there are services that will give you like a bare bones package that's cheap, but then you have to spend a lot of cash money in terms of add-ons. So big question for you is, when you're thinking about actually choosing Filenow versus Harbor Compliance versus BizFilings, you got to ask yourself first, what's important for you? Your budget or the speed at which your LLC formation process is initiated? Are you interested in having ancillary services as well? I mean, when we talk about ancillary services, we are speaking about the likes of registered agent services. We are speaking about licensing, for instance. We're talking about EIN services. So you have a lot of stuff that really can play an important role, especially when it comes to your ability to have your LLC filed as soon as possible. So you got to really ask yourself, what's important for me? Remember that the most reliable LLC services will provide you with the appropriate forms for your state and handle the incorporation process from beginning to end, reducing the risk of any costly errors. And if you have any questions or concerns, customer service reps are available to assist you, so you're not left to navigate the complexities of business formation alone, right? So you have to really have a clear idea what's really happening here. So here's the decision I want to really give you here. So Filenow versus Harbor Compliance versus BizFilings, which one should you go for? Well, our preferred provider here is BizFilings, because when you think about BizFilings, you have a complete A to Z service, right? And so you provide all kinds of services. You have all kinds of offers here. So that's really cool. So, but BizFiling is expensive. Harbor Compliance is kind of cool too in terms of their services, but we think that Harbor Compliance doesn't have the A to Z that a small business or entrepreneur might need, and so does Filenow. But BizFiling is our preferred choice into this conversation. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I actually walk you through a Filenow versus Harbor Compliance versus BizFilings. This was a comparative analysis, and I give you the review. I also talked to you about the approach that you need to think about, the overview, if you will, and the decision. Now the recap. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.